What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Weekly Dose of Dano TV with your boy, your host here, Dano, giving you the best content that you're gonna find on the internet. If you stay for 10 minutes, I promise you're gonna stay for the entire episode because we have DJ Paolo here, not Paolo, not Pablo, DJ Paolo. Say it right. Is here to give us the golden nuggets that we need to take into our everyday life to live the lives that we've come on this earth to live. So, DJ Paolo, what do you have to say to everybody before we get started today?
Welcome to my world.
I love it. Short, sweet, and to the point. To everybody watching, remember, you got to raise your energy and raise your vibrations for this episode because he's going to give us the golden nuggets that we need in order to overcome whatever it is that we're going through our lives. So all the good moments, all the bad moments, and everything in between. So to all of my viewers, to my positivity posse, buckle in because it's time to experience another episode of Weekly Dose of Dano TV. Let's get it, everybody. Thank you, everybody, so much for being here. You guys are lighting it up in the comment section already, and we'll get to that in just a second. But, man, when I tell you, you guys are really going to stay for the entire episode. DJ Paolo's, his story is super incredible. Just really being a humble man and living in a world where people told him he wouldn't be able to make it. You know, being an Italian man and saying, nah, well, you can't play rap music. Nobody's going to listen to that. It's not authentic. And all these different types of things that he had to fight through in order to be where he is right now. And just a little secret for you guys. He's going to tell you later. Well, he's been in the industry for over 44 years, which is absolutely incredible. Because, you know, I'm only 26 years old and I couldn't even imagine doing something for that long. You know, hopefully we can do Weekly Dose of Dano TV for that long. But you never know what's going to happen. And yeah, man, thank you guys so much for being here. Last week I was in Nashville, which is absolutely an amazing time. If you guys haven't been there before, do everything that you absolutely amazing. The food was absolutely incredible and everything in between. It was just an all around great time. I went and the weather was perfect. You know, we were dressing right over there. We had a good group of people, great energy, and it was absolutely amazing. So I would highly recommend for you guys to go take that trip as soon as you can. And it doesn't even have to be there, right? It can be anywhere that you've been planning on going or anywhere that you want to go. Just do it. Decide to plan that trip and don't even think about it. Don't think about the money because there's always more money to be made. And those experiences are what we're going to really hold on to. And that is when we're going to find all the beauty in life is when we do the things that we say that we're going to do and actually pursue them as well. So, let's take a quick look at these comments really quick. What's going on, Shane? Nice to see you, man. I hope everything is going well with you. Jeanette Ramos, thank you for the hashtag positivity posse. You already know what's going on. Josh over here saying hashtag Fry Boys. Oh, you can't be telling everybody that. That is our clan name on Xbox. So if you guys are watching right now, you want to add me on Xbox, it's Fry Boy Dano. You already know what's going on. It's the best gamer in town right here. And you know what? The best gamer in the United States, man. And add me, and we'll figure out how we can play together. Beatrice, tell Paolo hello from Chi-Town. Big shout out to Beatrice for orchestrating this and helping this, making this all happen. Huge, amazing woman. I can't tell you how much we love you here on Weekly Dose of Dano TV and all of the positivity posse. We love you as well. So thank you so much for being here. And yeah, so like I said, everybody, go plan that trip, whatever it is that you want to do, even if it's a weekend trip or a day trip, just have the intention to just go do whatever it is that you want to do. Just want to give you one quick announcement. I just got word, and it is solidified, that I'm going to be the red carpet host at the JB Dundalo Foundation in Dallas on December 3rd. And I just wanted to give them a quick thank you and for selecting me to be able to do that. And here's their website as well. They provide clean water to kids or women and children specifically in Africa and Dallas, and in all the underdeveloped states or portions of the United States as well. So here we go, Zimbabwe, and they're just an absolutely phenomenal organization, which are actually doing something and not just saying they're going to do something, right? They're putting their money where their mouth is, even though they are a nonprofit, but they're doing amazing, amazing things. So I just wanted to give you guys at the JB Dundalo Foundation a very, very special thank you for this opportunity. And that weekend, like I said, is December 3rd. That's going to be on my birthday, which is absolutely amazing. And I'm just so excited to be able to be selected to do that. And thank you again to my Positivity Posse and to the wonderful people there, Lumbi specifically at the JB Dundalo Foundation. And I promise you, my voice is going to get better by then. I was doing a lot of screaming in Nashville, having a lot of fun. So we're still recovering on that. But thank you, everybody, for watching here and being here for today. So, man, I need you guys to drop some hashtag fire or hashtag Positivity Posse, some hearts, whatever you got to do to raise your vibrations, because it's time to welcome Paolo onto the show. He's going to hit you guys with some high flying, super awesome energy. I mean, you have to be that way if you're a DJ, right? It's actually 3 o'clock in the morning where he is, all the way in Germany. So please make him feel welcome and special, because it's time for him to come on Weekly Dose of Dano TV. Let's get it, everybody. I want to see it in the comments. Paolo, what are you doing, man? Take off your headphones. It's time to come on to the show.
Whoa.
Hello, how you doing tonight?
Here we are. Yeah, doing fine, doing fine. Greetings from Germany to the US.
Oh, yes. And we welcome those greetings as well. Greetings are likewise sent right back to you. Thank you so much for being here tonight. This is a very special episode, because I think we're going to help a lot of people with the story of DJing and everything that you had to overcome to get to where you are today. So we're going to take it back to the very beginning on, why you got started with everything. So let's talk about that. What inspired you to pursue a career in DJing?
Well, actually, I never thought that I would become a DJ one day. It was just like every young kid. I was with my father, and my father was singing in church and stuff like that, and that kind of inspired me a little bit. But then we were living near to an army base, and I first got into AFN networks. So all of a sudden, I heard a guy named Wolfman Jack, and that was even before R&B and hip hop music started. So we're going way, way, way back into the late 60s. Yeah. So yeah, and I was listening to him, and he inspired me. So my father, he gave me a reel to reel, and it was a 4-track. And so I recorded Wolfman Jack's show, and I was imitating him, so that's how I got a little bit into, becoming a speaker. And we had a restaurant, and I was working like a daytime shift when my father was tired, and he took a couple of minutes off, So I was taking his shift, and we had people coming in, and one of the guys that always got in late was a owner of a club. And I was playing my mixtapes in the restaurant, while I was there sitting there. And then he asked me, "Who's that guy on the table?" And I said, "Yeah, does it bother you?" And he said, "No, I like it. I like it." I said, "Yeah, that's me." By that time, I was 17, and he said he's running a club, and if I ever thought about becoming a DJ. And I said, "Nah, I never did." But he invited me, and and it started right there. And as I turned 18, I became a pro DJ. That was in 79, and today is 23. So
You're still
then
going
you
strong
can do
too.
the math.
Yeah, you're still going strong, and it seems like it fell into your lap, and it was just destined for you to be a DJ. And when it comes to DJing, you really play a specific lineup of music, whether it's Latino, trap, new soul, reggaeton, Afro beats. Can you
Yeah, it
talk
was not
about
always it was not always like that, you
really?
know. So yeah, we have to see that there was a change going on in the music in the last, I would say, 20 years, especially. So when I first got started, when I started, there was no R&B, no rap music. It was funk and soul. It was James Brown. It was Aretha Franklin. It was the Commodores. Uh, so that was basically the funk music, and it was George Clinton and all these legends from back then. And then in the early 80s, rap came all of a sudden. Then vinyl really came up big. There was the first 12 inches. I remember it was like the Sugar Hill Gang. It was Curtis Blow. It was Grandmaster Flash. It was like who else was Chic, and and we as DJs we had the first Technics 1210s where you really could mix really well, and we had the Newmark mixers coming in, and at that time, it kind of elevated more and more, and it became wider and wider. And after the year 2000, it was a change because the internet was going strong. The internet became the new media. There was no more vinyl, it was no more CD, it was not even USB, it was streaming all of a sudden that came into the game and changed it forever because the access to global music was incredible. All of a sudden, you could get songs from Africa, you could get songs from Turkey. Normally, when I started as a DJ, I would say in the 90s, I was flying to America in order to get records that nobody had over here in Germany.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Nowadays, you go on Google
yeah, and
or you
nowadays,
Shazam.
yeah, Shazam, you got Spotify, and a
Yeah.
lot of the things that people do nowadays, it may not seem legit. And that's what, this is a perfect segue into what I was gonna show earlier too. We're gonna get right back to your DJing career and everything that you have to show. But it's like you just said, nowadays, everything is at the tip of our fingers. And I know it's a lot different scene of what we have to show right now, versus what was back then. But I want to share this clip with you guys because not everything is always as it seems to be. And I want to share with you guys this quick little segment. I'm going to play about 3 minutes worth of it. We're going to break it up into two halves. The first one's going to be about 2 minutes. The second one's going to be 1 minute. But it's going to talk about these illegal streaming farms that are going on nowadays. And I don't even know if they're illegal, but they're just, not really the truth as to what it seems. And Paolo, after we watch this clip, I want you to give me the difference and how this even came about to be in the musical world and the technology, and just give us your overall opinion of it. So here,
Yeah,
I'm going
no
to share with
problem.
everybody right now. And like I said, we're going to watch the first 2 minutes of it, and then we're going to get going. So if this wants to work, boom. All right, here it is, everybody. Watch. This is absolutely incredible. This is talking about streaming farms, and just take a look.
These artists are on these streaming forms. They are on these streaming platforms. Even from a guy like a J. Cole that say how many artists got streams from these bots. They not as hot as they seem. Well, J. Cole is a part of that system as well, and he don't even know it. The major labels are running these streaming farms. They running these streaming, running these setups. All right, we in a major industry, and that industry is ran by a machine. This shit, the Matrix, and I'm Neo.
Everyone in the hood has a hot verse, but the chances of making it big are slim to none. Chad's a computer genius who went from a total unknown to a chart-topping artist in just a few months' time with the help of a cheat code known as bots. Bots are computer programs designed to act like humans online, only lightning fast and far more efficient. Some people use bots to buy up high-demand products, jack up the price, and resell them for a big profit. Others program bots to rack up fake streams on Spotify or generate likes and comments on their social media pages to appear more successful than they really are. The lines are so blurred between legitimate business and these fraudulent schemes that you can't really tell which is which. You ever tried to buy tickets to a concert and it instantly said sold out? Or have trouble finding the hottest pair of sneakers? Well, that's because a bot beat you to the punch. You'll end up buying those same tickets or sneakers on the resale market at premium price from the same people running those bots. And most online consumers are clueless to this type of manipulation, especially in the music industry.
So that was just the first 2 minutes of this, thing that we're talking about, which is streaming farms and how things are fake nowadays. Paolo, we were talking before. You actually had to have talent back in the days in order to just be recognized. Can you talk about kind of the state of what rap music is like nowadays versus how it was before?
Well, I mean, honestly, 80 or 90% of the nowadays top 10 artists have no talent at all. If you ask me, for my honest opinion, but they're all made by the industry. And what was shown in this little clip is very true. And the internet is a blessing and a curse at the same time. It's a blessing for unknown artists because if they get viral, they get discovered and they can make it without the big record companies. But the big record companies, they control that business, and they having those farms with the bots, with all the phones, where they do all these manipulations, where at the end of the day, an artist gets 1 million streams, but not from real fans. It's from them bots. And at the end of the day, it's a machinery that goes way back to the 60s, where they said, if you want to get big, you have to use payola, So there was always like things going under the table. And nowadays, it's much easier for them to hide that, because back in the days you had to do everything physically. You had to have people. Nowadays you have machines. And a machine ain't going to tell nobody what they did. A machine just clicks. Back in the days, you had to be much more careful, who you're surrounded with and who was working for you, because if they were snitches, then it was over for you in a minute. But nowadays, with these machines, they buy them, they have a couple of tech guys in there, and they run that, and that's how they control the business. And it's actually, you have to imagine, in the 80s we had like 23 record companies. Nowadays we have 3 digitals, and it's Universal, it's Sony, and what's the third one? I cannot recall it at the moment. But I mean, back in the days we had a lot more, and they're all gone, because everything moved into the streaming platforms now. And Spotify is the global player, and then there's Tidal and a couple of other ones, and it's Apple Music and it's Amazon Music and stuff like that. But you have to imagine it's the same situation like with Bitcoins, At the end of the day, it's all on a big as DAO. It's a huge control center, and whatever they decide, they're going to spread out to the world because they have the access.
Yeah.
Nowadays with the internet, you cannot limit the internet. That's the bottom line. And then to close that circle is when they sign people and they see, okay, they ain't doing nothing, then they create something around them, and then they push them because they use the software to get them up.
Yeah,
but if you put them on a stage, with some real rappers and say, okay, let's do a battle or whatever, they're not able to do that.
No, they'll blow them out of the water, especially with the older guys, because like you said, it actually took skill back then. And there's a couple here and there that actually know what they're doing, but if they don't have the technology, then it's going to be a lot harder. And I just wanted to show people that clip just to let them know that not everything is always as it seems. You know,
No,
we
not
just
at
gotta
all.
arm ourselves with the education and just to really be mindful of what's really going on. But that's not to say that if you do have talent and if you believe in yourself and if you manifest that, you can manifest anything that you want in this world, but just always be wary of what's going on into the world as well.
Yeah, but I mean, the people nowadays, they are not critical enough, you know, because they get served constantly by the internet. They get feeded. And then when they see, oh, okay, this artist is popping up here, he's popping up there, he's popping up there. Did you never had that you were hearing a song that you really didn't like, but then you heard it at that corner, you heard it at that corner, and after 3 days, you caught yourself, oh, I'll be mumbling to that song myself, but I
Yeah,
hate the song, you
yeah,
know? And that's exactly how the industry works, you know? They're going to get you because they're in every corner. And an independent artist can never do that. You know, it's just not because the money power is not there. But
yeah.
these major companies, they have their net everywhere, you know, and when they push it out, it's not that it sprinkles a little bit, they flush it, you know, and that's how the system works, and then the people are impressed by that. But back in the days it was not like that, you know.
Yeah.
Back in the days you had to pull people into a concert, you know, and then you had to show your skills and you had to show off, and it was really some basic work that needed to be done. It was like being a sportsman, like a rugby player, football player, tennis player. You had to work your skills every day in order to succeed.
And
Yeah,
Paolo,
and
we're gonna get more into that in just a second, but we have to play a quick word from our commercial sponsors. From It Takes a Village Housing, which they're out getting an award right now at the ceremony in Camden. So congratulations to them. But we're just gonna play a quick word from our sponsors, and we'll get right back into it to talk more about
okay,
your
no
career as a
problem.
DJ and the difference on how it took some actual skill to make it back in the days versus the right now. So we'll be right back after a word from our sponsors. Don't go anywhere. Like, share, do whatever you have to do to raise your vibrations. And it's time to listen to Paolo come on to talk more about his story. We'll be right back.
Takes a village about keeping our families together.
God bless this organization.
That was just a quick word from our sponsors. Thank you so much to It Takes a Village Housing for sponsoring Weekly Dose of Dano TV. If you guys want to learn more about their organization, you can go to ittakesavillage1.org in order to find out more about it. But now it's time to talk about DJ Paolo's experience with DJing. And, you know, in order to be in this organ or in this field, in any industry for over 40 plus years, you got to really know what you're doing. So let's talk about that, Paolo, a little bit. When you go to DJ, and you go to read the crowd, because I've had plenty of experiences where the DJs don't know what the heck they're doing. What do you do in order to read the crowd and to keep them, you know, hip and dancing and just having a great time?
Well, I mean, you have to study your crowd, you know. Nowadays, a lot of DJs don't do that no more, you know, because they rely on the technical side of DJing. You know, nowadays you have a lot of tools. I'm using Serato as well. You know, I can still play real vinyl, But of course, it's more convenient if you nowadays DJ, you don't carry no more heavy bags and stuff like that. You open up your laptop, you have 1,000 files there, and you can play them right down there, you know. But sometimes to have that big variety is also an obstacle, because sometimes it's hard to reduce it to what you really need. And then there's a lot of people, they preparing sets, you know, they snatching sets out of some other DJ shows, and they copy that, and there is not a lot of originality no more in this game, you know. So everybody is using everybody's tools, and then there are some distributors that are specialized on DJ mixes and stuff like that. And if you sign up with them, you know, then you're in a pool with 800 DJs, and all the DJs get the same music, you know. Then sometimes it happened to me. I went out and I went to 3 different clubs, and wherever I went, I heard the same song. And I was like, okay, what the hell is going on here? You know, so for me, being an old school DJ, you know, when I started, you know, you really had to know your crowd. And I could tell by the way they were dressed, by the way they were dancing, by the way they were acting, what kind of music they like, you know. And this is really the profession about the DJ is, from my standpoint, is like to read the crowd and to work the crowd, you know, and not just being there and doing the Jesus and I'm the great guy and stuff like that. No, be humble about it and make them dance, because if you see that they really dance their ass off, and then they go home and they say, oh, we had a great night, you know, then you're a good DJ, you know, because to put in a hard drive and play a pre-recorded mix for 2 hours. But what you're going to do when somebody steps up and says, hey, it's my birthday, hey, can you play that song and that song, and it's not on your playlist?
Then you're screwed. Yeah. And I want to show everybody too, that's watching right now, that he's not just saying this just to say, he actually means it. And he actually sent me a clip, and I wanted to share with everybody as well. You could feel the energy in the crowd and just the way that you're playing and that the performance you're putting on. So he knows what he's talking about. Everybody, just take a quick listen to DJ Paolo playing live and how he reads the crowd and how he gets them very hyped.
Get your hands in the air right now. Get your hands in the air right now. Black Saturday, Black Saturday, Black Saturday, Black Saturday. I go by the name of DJ Paolo.
Yeah.
Say it right there, man. I wanted to be there and experience that great energy. But like you were saying, you actually took the time to read that crowd.
Yeah, but don't get me wrong. You know, it's not something that you develop overnight. It takes decades. You know, so I mean, when I started, it was not like that. You know, but I had a great teacher in the early '80s. I came together with Curtis Blow, and he's a living legend. He's the first certified gold record receiver in hip hop with the breaks, you know. So that was the first certified gold record ever on hip hop. And when he came in '82 to Germany, you know, I was DJing in a club at the army base, and I was doing the sound check for him, and I kind of was like, oh, okay, man, I gotta show this guy I'm able, and stuff like that. And so I showed him a little bit, and he was like, oh, okay. And I was like, what is okay? You know, I'm good, you know. And he said, yeah, you got some, but you need to have more control. And I was like, is that dude fronting on me and stuff like that? But at the end of the day, we became friends, and he really taught me how to use the mic, how watch the crowd. He told me everything about crowd response, how being a MC, but not overdoing that, because I'm not a rapper, but I'm also a little master of ceremonies, you know, so I celebrate everything, you know. and I learned from the best, you know. And within saying that, I never copied him, you know, because what I learned from the beginning is if you copy somebody, you never win because the master is already there. So you got to find your own niche and you got to be yourself, you know. So I developed DJ Paolo Montagni, and that's what I'm still am after 44 years in this game. And with the 50 years of anniversary of hip hop and all this old school that is coming back, you know, the 90s, the 2000 music, I'm back on it, and I'm really blessed that today, with 62 years, I'm still rocking 2,000 people. Like I have a show tomorrow, and it's sold out. So
We love that. We love that so much. So if everybody, you know, they might be watching right now in Germany or wherever you're watching from, if you got the chance to go check out DJ Paolo, go check out his absolutely amazing show. And a big part of what you just said too is you had the right people surrounding you, whether they were experts in their field with Curtis Blow or just people who wanted to see you do better. I know in the beginning you were saying, yo, why you fronting on me, my guy? But they just want to see you better, and make sure that you do have those type of people that are around you to make sure that they're elevating you to the next level, or study somebody that's in their field, because you never know. I know a big story or a big thing that people do nowadays is just reaching out. You never know if you're sending them a message on Instagram or social media or to their email or in person. If you see them, go up to them and say, hey, can I pick your brain for a little bit? You never know where it might lead you. And I really love that as well. But a big thing that you said as well is the power of technology. And I remember you were just saying before, you know, they had 8 tracks back in the day. When it comes to recording music, they had to do it in so many different layers and so many different takes. And now they can just do it all in one shot, you know, meshing everything and all that great stuff. But when it comes to the DJing technology, was it hard to try to learn everything on the fly? Or was it easy for you to just adapt to the new school game?
well, I mean, you know, you there's back in the days when I started into getting into DJing, it was really hard because you had to have that skills and you had to train your skills day by day, beat matching, all that stuff. Nowadays, you hit a button because on Serato DJ Pro, you have a sync button. You don't need to mix anymore. You know, it don't matter if the one song has 120 BPM, the other has just 90. You click on the sync button and it's still gonna come out right. You know, back in the days, we had the pitch fader on the turntables, you know, and the masters that really were really deep into that craft, you know, they were not even mixing with the fingers on the vinyl, you know, they were just pushing the faders, you know, and that was the glory, you know, and you had to practice for that every day. Like I said, like a tennis player or a boxer, you know, you had your room, you had your little booth, and there you had your records, and then you were practicing scratching, you were practicing mixes, quick mixes, you know, smooth mixes, mixing a cappellas with some instrumentals, you know, and you had to do that to be on point, because when I was playing as a white guy in a black community, you know, they were watching me exactly, you know, and they were like, at the beginning, they were like, okay, man, take him off, take him away, you know, but after a while, they were like, damn, you know, so I was in that scenario a little comparable to Eminem in the rap game, you know. He is one of the few white rappers that really made it. It was him, it was MC Serge, maybe, and a few others, you know. But I never wanted to be a Vanilla Ice, you know. I wanted
Yeah,
to be a Eminem.
yeah. You always wanted to be yourself too, and just show them
Yeah,
that, hey, man, I'm just like you.
yeah,
Music is music, and it's universal, no matter what color your skin is or what you look like, you know. And I
yeah.
just,
But at the beginning, I had a lot of haters, you know. So it didn't came easy to me, you know. I really had to work it, and I was dedicated, and I never lost my positivity because I knew where I wanted to go, and I was following my dreams. And the more they were hating on me, the more I was putting into it, in order to show them, hey, you cannot touch this, And at the end of the day, I was the MC Hammer. You can't touch this.
Yeah, there it is. So,
Uh,
Paolo, thank you so much for that, and understanding that you didn't succumb to that negative energy or that peer pressure, listening to the haters. And that's for everybody. That's whatever craft that you're studying right now, or whatever your art form is. Don't listen to these negative Nancy's. Always have the power and the self confidence within yourself to say, whatever it is that I want to accomplish, I'm going to freaking accomplish it in my life, and nothing's going to stop me. But Paolo, we actually have to hear a word from our second sponsor for tonight. And when we come back, we're going to talk about a little bit of the more serious times that's happened to you in the DJing career, and how you kind of overcame those obstacles. So we're just going to play a quick word from our sponsors for the second episode, and we'll be right back after a word from this sponsor. You so much for being here today. To my viewers, to my positivity posse, for spending this hour with me, man. I missed you guys last week. Like I said, I was in Nashville experiencing the greatness of music, whether it's country music or rap music or everything in between. It's just a great way for everybody to come to connect and live their best life and just leave it all on the dance floor. So thank you, Paolo, for being here. And to my positivity posse, you guys are amazing. Or you viewers, you guys are amazing. So I want to talk about the serious moments, Paolo, because I know it wasn't rainbows and sunshines and butterflies, even though it looks like it on camera. But talk about one of the most serious, or maybe one of the times that you didn't feel like, you wanted to go along with DJing anymore. Maybe you were almost listening to your haters. Talk about that time and how you overcame that obstacle in your DJing career.
Well, I mean, like I said, I had a great start. I got into that and I didn't even know how. And all of a sudden, I was in it to win it, and it went on from there. But then there was a time in the late '90s that there was a new wave coming up called Eurodance in Europe, especially in Germany, and all of a sudden. The so-called black music, which means R&B and hip hop music, was kind of fading out for a minute, and then all of a sudden I had no more bookings, I had no more shows. A lot of the hip hop clubs were closing down, and I was like, wow, is this already the end? And I said, nah, it can't be, So I went into producing. I opened up my own recording studio, and with the skills that I had and the knowledge that I had from listening to all these records, I started producing, and there I had also a successful time as a producer. And after that, then in the early 2000s, hip hop came back stronger than it was before. And then there was the time of the great R&B singers like Usher, and before we had Michael Jackson, but then it was Usher, and he had all that dancing, and after Usher came Chris Brown and a lot of them guys that were really talented and brilliant dancers and performers and stuff like that. So it was the high season of that, and then we shifted into the early internet, and then all of a sudden there was the Jamaican vibe, coming in. Started very early with Bob Marley, and then got like picked up from Rihanna and from other artists like that. So at the end of the day, it elevated, and it went on and on, and then it was like, for me, the most horrible time started after like 2015, because then it was the time for the mumble rappers. The give the
Oh,
hickety hockety hook, the hook at the hock at the hook, the gig at the cock at the cook. They were talking a lot, but they were ain't saying nothing. And that was the time where I said, okay, maybe it's time for me to retire.
mhm.
But after all, there is a new vibe coming now. There is the African vibe coming now. They're picking up a lot of old school. Most of the big African artist name they use in old R&B tracks, and they sing over that, and so everything kind of comes back on, and I'm very curious where this music gonna go. But I see that the mumble rappers now slowly but surely are start fading, and
Starting to fade out. Yeah, and even
yeah,
people
yeah,
that were big in like 2016 that I can think of, like maybe Lil Pump. I don't know if you know Lil Pump, but
yeah.
he was like the
There was
face
a
of
lot of
rap.
littles. The
Yeah,
only one that I can dig is Lil Wayne, and
yeah.
that was
No, but he's a
so,
legend. He
yeah.
actually has talent. But yeah, that's my point exactly. Like the Lil Pump was like the face of the mumble rappers, and now nobody hears about him. But it's so important that you actually decided to say, you know what, I'm gonna do what I want to do and follow my own lane and not play that kind of stuff. And you still find success nowadays to be able to still get bookings.
Yeah, but I got rediscovered. It was not always like this. But if you stay true to your roots, and you believe that there is a meaning behind all that, and that you have an obligation to deliver some good stuff, then you cannot sell out. There are other DJs that were not in my position because they didn't have the background, and they decided to become DJ and made it for their living, and that they couldn't hardly survive.
Yeah,
So they had to sell out. But me, I was like, for me, it was also when the rap music turned into the nastiness. The rap was always some sort of nasty, but it was like in stealth mode. A
yeah,
lot of things were just called, and they had like different names to it. But nowadays, in mostly of the female rap songs, they really call the words. They're calling out for that.
yeah,
And I have a 17-year-old daughter, and I don't want her to get named like that. So I don't want to use the names here, and I don't want to use no profanity. But that's why I admire my mentor Curtis Blow so much, because he built a whole career until today, and he never dropped any rap song with any profanity.
yeah.
So Will Smith was one of the other guys. Everybody says, okay, he's not a real rapper, but I cannot agree to that, because he can rap, but he's not just going the same lane like everybody.
Yeah, he's
So
just following his own lane and doing what's different. But it's like you said, if you follow yourself and know what your brand is and know what your style is, you're still able to develop a career and a very successful one as that. Like you said, Curtis Blow is a legend. And I just what you just said about these women nowadays or women rap, and what they provide to these younger generation is just not what it's meant to be. I don't know if you know who Sexy Red is, but she's like a very popular up and coming rapper. And you've probably heard the lyrics before. She goes, my pee is pink, talking about her private parts. She said, my pee is pink, my booty hole is brown. And you can't really get more direct than that. If I'll show you the song after, just so you can see, or anybody out there, if you want to look it up and be
I
disappointed.
don't know if I really want to listen to
Yeah,
that
yeah,
crap. So I mean, we have to take it back to where it started from.
yeah,
Rap music was built, and hip hop music was built around the three elements. It was the DJ, it was the b-boy, and it was the MC. And when they came together, they created a situation, and a rapper was telling about the truths, what the life on the street was supposed to be at that time, and what they were dealing with. And nowadays they just talk about drugs, about cars, about
Sex, money, women, all of that good
yeah,
stuff.
whatever, But as 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 you be listening to that as a fan, there is nothing you can take for yourself, and there is no positivity in that.
Yeah.
It's a lot of negativity in that, because they telling you to not work, to not be honest, to not cherish your girlfriend, to have another one, have a side chick, have
I have
everything,
5 of
you
them,
know.
10 of them. Yeah.
Yeah, and then that's wrong. That's simply wrong. But this is what they feed in the youth nowadays, and I'm not supporting that.
Yep. And you're not going to play their music in the club either. And Paolo, we got to play one more word from our commercial sponsors for the third sponsor of the night. So everybody, don't go anywhere. Like, share, do whatever you got to do to raise your vibrations. And we'll be right back after a word from our third and final sponsor. We'll be right back.
You can navigate the legal and emotional journey of divorce and exit a marriage the way you entered it, with mindfulness, love, and respect. Solace Divorce Mediation is a full-service law practice helping couples focus on the health and well-being of children and their forever co-parenting family. Our streamlined divorce journey offers flat fees with an estimated completion time frame of 2 to 4 months. If you or a friend need us, visit solacedivorce.com.
That was our third and final sponsor for tonight. Thank you so much for being here, for watching this live or on the replay, and watching for wherever you're watching from. We appreciate it. The Positivity Posse, shout out to you guys. And DJ Paolo, thank you so much for being here. Even though it is 3 o'clock in the morning, closer to 4 now in the morning for you, we appreciate you waking up and taking the time out of your busy schedule to be here with us. And DJ Paolo, let me ask you this question, man, because not everybody has this kind of experience that you have, being in the game for so long and being international as well. Can you tell us about the main differences on what it's like to play at a club in Germany versus playing at a club inside of the US?
Yeah, of course. I mean, in the US, the people are much more open than over here in Germany. We had really different crowds. In America, they cheer everything they like, and it was much more easier to really work a American crowd because they're not so stiff. Germans are a little bit stiff, so you really have to show them what you want them to do, and when you did that, then it works out. So I mean, I found my way, and I would say. It was easier back in the days in Germany because we had a lot of American soldiers over here. We had a lot of casernes and there were barracks and stuff like that. And when the soldiers got out, they went to the clubs and they showed the people how to party. But that's long gone. We have a few soldiers left over here, but they moved most of the soldiers to Poland. And in Germany, you have more Africans now than Americans, And the Africans, they bring a completely different vibe because Americans were strictly really dancing and having all that fun. The Africans are dancing too, but they dance in a different way. So it's no more hip hop, The African dance it's more traditional. It's more like it has not so many routines, let's put it that way.
Yeah, and I love that. So all the Americans out there, we know how to party. If that's one thing that we do know how to do, because there's other people who would say we don't really know how to do much, but at least we have partying, right? Now, DJ Paolo, we only have a few minutes left on the show. So what are some upcoming projects or things that we can look forward to coming out that you're going to be producing?
Oh well, I'm very busy at the moment. I cannot complain. So I'm still touring a lot in Germany, and I'm also invited to come to the States again. They just asked me to be a host like you are, and do a podcast with a lot of celebrity artists from my category, you know, like MC Light, LL Cool J, KRS-One, Flash, Curtis Blow, of course, you know. Those are the people that I will be interviewing, and I will kind of wrap it up with them, how they see when the difference between Germany and the stateside, because some of them came to Germany, you know, some of them came even a couple of times, you know, some of them not so often. And of course, then I'm going to do a little bit about that. And of course, I'm still in producing, and well, I don't have like a real specific plan knocked out. You know, I always go with the flow. Whatever comes, you know, I'm in my bonus time. You know, after you turn more than 60 years old, then you get a little easy on things. You know, so it's a lot of things that I can do, but I don't have to do. So now I can really select, and I'm picking out the cherries, you know, and so it's a real good thing, and I like it, because when I come, then I deliver wherever I go, because people know I'm a real guy, you know. I'm not one of them phony talkers, you know. If I name it, I can prove it, you know. So it's not that I cannot back it up, because I've been there, I've done that.
Oh yeah, 100%. And I just want to say one thing as well. Go with the flow. Yes, that's the best. What a great way to live. Absolutely amazing. I agree with you. I really like to go with the flow, because you never know what doors might open for you in the meantime. Because if you have a plan and you're so set on that plan and it doesn't happen the way that you want it to, then you might get a little bit discouraged and you might stop going along with it, or you know, those negative feelings will come along. But I agree with you. It's best to go in the flow and be with that flow as well.
Yeah, and you should never give up, you know, because if the door uh, is not open, it is not your door. But there are plenty of doors, you know. So why you limit yourself on that, you know? If like I said, at the time in the middle of the '90s, when Eurodance came up, and all that techno music and stuff like that, I was more or less unemployed, you know. But then I went to the other route, and I became a producer, and I was making money there. And then I got back to that, and then I was moving over there. So don't limit yourself, you know. It's not that, even if you love, I mean, I love being a DJ, you know, and I will do it till they put me 6 foot under. But and then I'll be playing from down there. but bottom line is, you know, don't limit yourself. There's so much you can do, and sky is the limit, like my man Biggie said, you know. And if you experience that this is not your door, try another one, you know. Don't give up. Don't give up, because the world has so much that you can discover, you know. So don't limit yourself.
I love
Because a
that.
lot of people, they get stuck on one lane, and they say, "Oh, I have to do this." No, you always have multiple choices. That's what
And
I'm saying.
what you just said too is sweet, straight and to the point, man. If that door is not opening for you, then it's not your door. It's time to find something else. So you got to be flexible and open enough to see what door is available for you as well.
Yeah, and I go around, and I come in from that same door, you know, but
Yeah,
from the back.
yeah. Hey, there it is, and you'll find your path and your blessings through that other door as well. Paolo, if somebody wanted to, you know, connect with you, or find out more about you, where can they go to find more information about you?
Well, I don't have a business card, but my business card is called Google.
There it is.
So they just have to put my name correctly down, and they will see a lot of footage there.
So what can they type in? Best DJ of all time? Does that work? And they'll
No,
pop up?
not at all. They just go with my name, you know. They just go with DJ Paolo Montagni, and that's it. And then they're gonna find. Of course, I have a company called P-Force Entertainment, and it's also well recognized in Europe. And I'll be doing a lot of stuff. Like, this is my production company, and but I go by the name of DJ Paulo. And then when the people get it, like the P to the A to the O to the L to the O, and I rock every show, and you know,
There it is.
then they will find me. You know, it's just, it's not that hard. And of course, I'm on Instagram, on Facebook, I'm on Twitter, I'm everywhere a little bit, but I'm operating everything by myself, you know. So it's not that I have people working my accounts. If you write me on Instagram, I really reply. You know, it's me.
Yeah.
It's nobody else. You know, I'm not that type of celebrity guys. And a lot of people say, "Oh, you just have like barely 3,500 followers on Instagram," and I say, "Yeah, it's real followers. It's nobody from India. It's nobody from Vietnam. It's nobody from
None of the bots, right, that we were just
yeah,
talking about earlier in the show. It's absolutely
exactly.
real.
And I never forced anybody to kind of like me or to add me up or stuff like that. But
Yeah.
I mean, I come from the generation Facebook, and if you go on Facebook, I have like 4 accounts with 5,000 followers. So there I was a lot bigger. But then I realized it's too much time consuming for me. You
Time and
know,
energy and
uh,
effort. Yeah.
yeah,
Well,
yeah,
especially the
because
social media. It could
yeah,
be
because
sucking, you know what I mean? It could take a lot out of you, and you want to focus on what you're passionate about, which is your music. So that's all the
exactly.
time that we have for today, actually, DJ Paolo. So congratulations to you and everything that you achieved now after 44 years and everything that you're going to achieve in the future. We
It's
really
not over yet.
being here. It's not over yet. Not over yet. We appreciate your time and your knowledge for today. To my positivity posse, you guys are absolutely amazing. Thank you for. I keep saying you guys. I gotta stop saying that. It's one thing I gotta work on. You, all of you, are so amazing. Thank you for being here and watching this episode, whether you're live or on the replay. We really appreciate you watching and commenting and just lighting it up in the comments. DJ Paolo, don't go anywhere. I just want to talk to you just one more, just a few more minutes. I know you want to go to sleep, but I got to just ask you something really quick. So everybody, have a great weekend. I'll see you next week. We have Josh Kropkov coming on for next week. He's a master copywriter, and he's going to help everybody who may have a small business or just market themselves in whatever way they want. He's going to give us the keys on how to write the copy in order to be able to do that. He is based in Miami and works with all the top agencies and companies over there in Miami as well. So DJ Paolo, thank you so much for being here. To my positivity posse, I love you guys. Paolo, what do you have to say to everybody before we sign off?
Well, I say stay true to the game. And you know, and one thing that I really want to tell the people is go and seek for the history of the music. Don't live not only for today, and look where the music came from and who were the pioneers and who brought it to what it is today. And don't forget about those heroes, you know, because the old school heroes, they put that stuff on.
Yeah, they paved the way for us, and that's for everything, right? Movies, a lot of movies are being remade nowadays. Music and fashion too. So whatever it is that you want to study, go check out the living legends, and we have one right here in DJ Paolo. Thank you for being here, and everybody have a great, safe weekend. And I'll see you next week for another episode of Weekly Dose of Dano TV. Peace, everybody. Have a great weekend.